If you're a Texas landowner and you're interested in improving the quality of the genetics on your ranch, you can contact me at deerandwildlifestories.com. Hey everybody, if y'all like big whitetail deer, I mean the biggest whitetail deer on earth, you're gonna love this show. Welcome to the High Roller Whitetails Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction. So this is my second year here. Last year I got 2 picks in the buck draft, and boy was I ever excited. I wound up picking number 17, and by that time a lot of the good ones had gone, and so I was kind of apprehensive. Was I going to get a good deer? Take a look what he turned out like. This deer, of course, I mean, he's a big deer. He's got the pedigree like crazy. I mean, I'm very excited about him. And then my second pick, he was a giant too. So this year I'm back. I have 2 picks this year too. But rather than going for bucks, I've got 2 picks in the doe draft.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light I'm a free and the whole of the
I guess out of all the events in the deer industry, I like coming to this one the most, is because number one, the quality of animals. You're not going to beat the quality of animals. Every single animal in some way goes right back here to High Roller. Every single one. And it's important. And the reason why it's important is because High Roller Whitetails, when you deal with James Butler and the folks at High Roller, they stand behind every single thing that they sell, every single deer. There's a lot of places you can go buy deer, but nobody that I know of stands behind their deer like James Butler and High Roller Whitetails. And that's really important. The reason why is because you're going to put a lot of money into deer in building your herd, whether you buy them from James or whether you buy them from somebody else. You want to buy from somebody that is going to stand behind and protect your investment. And that's exactly what happens with High Roller. They protect the investment. So you look down there, you look at 100, 200 people down there, and they all have connect right back to James Butler. Every single one of them is protected because High Roller Whitetails protects his customers.
Yeah, we're at the High Roller Buck Draft and we're jacked up.
Rob Beckham.
One of the best shows in the country, if not the best show in the country. We're in the buck draft. 50 of the best buck fawns will be drafted today. We've got 2 picks in that. We got 3 picks in the doe draft, some incredible females.
47. That's one away from them.
One of the bucks last year sold for $600,000 this year that didn't even get drafted, so that shows you the quality of the animals here. They also have a high-end genetics sale, 52 lots. It'd be 52 of the best lots, if not the best 52 lots sold consecutively that the industry's ever seen. So if you've never been to it, you need to come. It's amazing.
The sale is very important for the deer industry. A lot of the proceeds go back to the deer industry to help keep it going. It's very important to all of us deer breeders out around the country to keep this going, and it's a great event.
This auction is important. Anytime you can get this many people together, fighting for the same cause and supporting the 2 organizations, I think it's a good thing. Those organizations are going out and fighting for deer breeders every day at the state level, at the national level. So anything we can do to help them, I think benefits the industry as a whole.
The first night we always start off with a really good meal. You never know what we're going to serve. Sometimes this year it was deer steak and shrimp, but next year who knows, but it'll be something really exciting. And then we get into drawing the draft spots for the buck draft and the doe draft. So everybody comes up and actually spins a wheel and decides their drafting order. So that gives them a whole night to negotiate and decide what they're going to do to get ready for the draft the next day. There's 50 spots in the doe draft and 50 spots in the buck draft. But there's an excess, there'll be 150 or so bucks in the buck draft, and probably 60 or 70 does in the doe draft. So everybody draws a number to decide what order in which you're going to get to pick out of that pool of animals.
So last year you drew number 2, and I just saw you got down from up there. What'd you draw?
32.
How you feel about it?
Number 8.
So it'll be good. There's 50 good deer, so I'm not worried about my number.
Brett Anderson.
Yeah. Well, there's not one bad one in there for sure.
No.
It's just some are better than others. Good. I'm excited.
Me too.
So Robert has blackjack whitetails. Of course, that's where blackjack, the great big buck, lives. And you just got done drawing your number.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody what number you got.
I got number 1.
This guy right here is so blessed.
I am blessed.
I mean, he's got one of the biggest deer in the industry, blackjack, and then all of a sudden he draws numero 1.
I did. You know.
So do you know what you want to pick yet?
I'm thinking about it.
Would you sell it?
Everything's always for sale.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Last year, draw number 1 in the doe pick, the guy was offered $50,000 for it and turned it down.
Man.
So anyway, I'm hoping for number 1 in the doe pick. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's awesome, man. Great cause.
So how you do this? Backwards first, and then go that way. Okay. Wait a minute. John Viesca got up here last year and did this number, didn't he? Where's John?
Come on, John. Number 1.
I don't know, last year he did that. It's like, did one fall out? The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you in part by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds.
8.
Number 8.
Not bad.
Number 8.
Not bad. Okay, we're gonna see. Oh, backwards. Sorry.
16.
16.
I don't listen very good.
I'd take 16. I know.
Okay. I went up, I got called up there twice real quick, and I got both my picks now. I drew number 8, and I'm really excited about that. And number 16. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to go over here and ask some of these people for help, because to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about these pedigrees as much as these guys do. You know, walking into this room, if you're in the deer industry, these are the people that have built the deer industry. It's like the people that built the National Football League. You know, you got Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi, and I mean all the well-known people that were in the NFL that built it. If you were to walk in a room with them, you'd probably be pretty amazed. Well, walking in this room, I'm amazed, and I'm fixing to go ask for their help right now.
4 guys.
This year was so exciting. When Robert drew the number 1 spot, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. His face turned red, and you know, that's what it's all about. It's having fun and seeing the excitement. As far as the doe draft went, when Don and Sandy had came up and drawn, they had 4 different spots, and they had drawn 3 consecutive numbers in the high 40s. And when Sandy drew the number 1 spot, the look on her face is what, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Okay, so out of all the people in this room, this really is the luckiest one. See, I thought George Tunall was lucky, and George is lucky, but
He is lucky.
you actually drew the best pick in the whole room out of everybody here. Tell them what you got.
I got number 1 for does.
Number 1 in the does. Last year, the number 1 pick, somebody was offered $50,000 for that pick. Okay, and so I had 2 picks tonight, and I was praying for number 1 because I thought,
What'd you get?
I got number 8 and number 16. So I'm happy, but is your draft spot for sale?
No, sir.
Really?
Really.
So if somebody offered you $50,000.
Wouldn't do it.
That right there is an example of how valuable these deer are and how committed these people are. Now, you may need to be committed to something else after turning out $50,000, but anyway,
I
that's
wouldn't
pretty
do
cool.
it. We're so excited.
Well, do you know what deer you want?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well,
We know
yeah, I know you.
exactly which one we
Which
want.
one is it? Because you don't have to worry about me taking it because I'm number 8.
It's going to be the one in partnership. It's the doe bred to Willie with half interest with High Roller.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a big one.
Well, that's a cool deal.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank
I'm
you.
jealous.
After the excitement of everybody drawing their spots, then we go out in the arena for some really fun competition.
We're going to run over the rules and the rules, the order of events, and the the liability stuff. You bear with me? Hold any questions until the end so we can get through it as quickly as possible.
All right, so you look back here, you may be wondering what everybody is standing up here against this rail for. Look over here. We're fixing to have some fun. I don't know if y'all ever seen donkey basketball or not, but you're fixing to see it right now.
The donkey basketball is something else. It's a chance that High Roller gets to give back and the guys participating get to give. First prize in the donkey basketball is actually $20,000. But the kicker to that is the team has to donate that to a charity. And it just draws so much excitement to see everybody giving back and having fun doing it. We came up with the ideal to have this event to bring everybody together. You know, we go to deer sales and we go to different events every year that the associations put on, and they're always kind of cookie cutter. They have to stay within certain guidelines and do certain things. And you have all your different groups at every event that kind of stay to themselves and do their own thing. Where with our event, everybody turns into one big family. It's just an exciting deal.
So George, how do you think y'all did?
Huh?
How'd y'all do?
We won.
They won.
We did.
That's good. One round one anyway. George's out of breath.
This year he had them crawling around the circles and to sit back and watch. And when the music stopped, it was a free-for-all.
I got two. Oh, geez.
Ready? Might as well commit, Hannah. You might as well commit.
If you're in Texas and interested in becoming a deer farmer, you can contact me for deer farming franchise opportunities right here in Texas at deerandwildlifestories.com. It's the beginning of day 2 at the High Roller Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction. And day 1 was unbelievable, just like every event held out here. Now day 1, of course, they had donkey basketball and everybody had a great time, but more importantly, everybody drew for their position. And so on day 2 now, everybody is lined up, they've got their book in front of them, they know what they're looking for, and the draft is fixing to start.
When the draft actually gets underway, we'll come up in order of which everybody drew their balls. The first guy comes up, they had 3 minutes to make their decision. And this year was a little different from last year. It didn't take near as long. We were through probably an hour early because everybody had studied their books, they'd studied their pedigrees, and they knew what they wanted when they got there.
What I'm doing right here is going through here. I drew number 8, and so we're going through the book. I get Brian to help me. I mean, I need a lot of help with these pedigrees. Brian is really sharp on these, and so he's helping me out. I'm making a list of the ones that he thinks are good ones, and I just trust his opinion. And so we got to have at least 8 on there, because more than likely they'll all be gone. So I need to have one, because you only got a little short time to pick what deer you want. So I'm doing this ahead of time. That's what everybody's doing, by the way. All right, so where's you said?
Keith Moore, hitting number 8.
Okay, what do you think, guys? I mean, the thing about it is, it's like there's so many good ones. I think I'm going for 17. 17 is spread to blackjack. 17 overnight. Yeah, can't beat that. I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Number 17.
It's 17. Overnight Express on free agent on 2028. Going back to Little Butler.
All right, I'm real happy with that, but there's a lot of good ones that are still left here. So anyway, and I think the thing that to me that really sold that is bred to blackjack. I like the breeding on that deer. but it's bred to blackjack, so that's even better.
You're picking from buck fawns before they grow their first set of horns. So everything's based on pedigrees, unless you draw number 49 or 50. And if you draw those two, you get to wait till the bucks grow out. The first year we had the draft, we had Big Jake was one that was picked out. He was picked number 50 in the draft. And then the second year we had the draft. We went all the way through the draft, and we have a buck named Willie and Waylon. They were in the draft. Nobody picked them in the draft at all. Nobody drafted them. And then it came down to 49 and 50, and the guys chose other bucks. And then Willie and Waylon are the two biggest, best bucks, best 2-year-olds we've ever raised on the farm. So the amount of really quality animals is second to none.
16, deep corner.
Isn't that the one you look at? Yeah, you're good.
You're trying to throw me a curve.
You're good. You're good.
You had him so worried.
I was sitting there, I was worried, man.
Okay, keep it.
He picks 3 in the East. Triple Crown on overnight on free agent, back on big boy. That's 3 in the East.
I am so excited. I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, the future is a whole lot brighter now I got these genetics. And it's like, I'm shaking, I'm so happy about it. I'm just sitting here sweating it out, sweating out. I've got 2 really, really good doe pigs. You know, it's really hard to describe James Butler, and you know, I've asked a lot of people to tell me in as few words what they think about James Butler. And as far as me, I mean, I'd say he's quiet, he's unassuming. I mean, you look at him, it's like, he doesn't seem like he'd be the guru of the deer industry. But let me tell you something, James is quiet, he's brilliant, he is a leader, and he has integrity. He stands behind every single deer that is sold out here, and thank God we've got him in the deer industry.
The ultimate partner is someone who makes a deal really good when something goes wrong in the deal. And that's what you have a lot of trust with over here, is that deals always end up good because they always make them right. And that gives you the ability and the confidence to pay this kind of money.
A trusted resource and really a trusted friend for GKR.
Such a great partner to have. You know, he's helping everybody push their deer. He's just, you know, he has the ability to really push the genetics, and really a class act.
The fellow that runs this thing is a great partner. He's helped us in many ways. He goes out of his way to help you with your ranch, as well as the deer you purchase or you want to partner with him on. You couldn't find a better partner than High Roller Whitetails.
They've been really good to us, really good to the industry. They really back this, the whole High Roller group really backs the industry, not just one deer breeder or one set. To them, all deer breeders are part of a family, because without everybody working together, we're vulnerable. You know, they want to make sure that we're one group and one voice.
We learned early on that we like to do business with him. He stands behind his animals, and one of the fairest guys I've ever met.
I've been doing business with him for a long time, and he's always gone above and beyond on the customer service side, which I love.
The things that he does for the industry go well beyond this weekend. He does so much and generates money and supports both organizations tremendously.
The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you in part by New Dart, leading the industry in accuracy. All right, we just got finished with the High Roller Big Buck Draft and the Doe Draft, and I got a couple of really good picks. Everybody's excited because right now we're starting the High Roller Premier Deer Auction.
The sale that we have every year for our customers, the High Roller Premier Deer Sale, is a little different from the normal auction. It's an invitational sale. We only take the really good animals, so the atmosphere and everything's totally different. If the guys that put the animals in they need to be there supporting the industry and supporting our animal. We want people there. We want it to be good for everybody, and we don't want people who's not contributing to take away from the other guys that are there supporting and having fun.
Neil Whitetail with G&K Whitetails. We got the Enterprise over Ranger, over Lady Lex. Pedigree speaks for itself. Being that it's going to be bred to something on high rollers, anything out of their tank is it's a big deal. Good deer. We're excited about it.
We know we had 46 lots, and we know that the sale did 1.2 million. It was crazy good. I don't know how the numbers compare to last year. I know last year the premium sale, the final average number per lot was around 10,000 higher than any other sale in the country, and I feel like we'll be right there again this year.
All right, they're wrapping up the auction right now, and I got to tell you, the values on these lots were higher than anybody expected, and that is a great thing. It's a sign that the deer industry right here in Texas at High Roller Whitetails is very, very good. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to the 2019 High Roller Whitetails Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction. And we're not done for the night. We've got a little bit of entertainment still left.
Horses right here, dude. Bunch of horses.
We're the high roller champions. Yeah, man. Kick his legs. Oh, dude.
That was John that got out. What are you trying to take me out for?
I don't know what happened. I saw red. Oh, man.
Good
job, girl. Somebody just three.
We should all get number one. Number one.
This year event was hands down better than the first year or last year's event. We're going to do this sale every year. Probably the most gratifying thing out of it for me is to see all the new faces, to have the new deer breeders there that are hungry, to watch some of the new, we saw new deer farmers that hadn't been in the business this year at the auction very long, sell animals north of $40,000 or $50,000. There's guys that's been in the business for 20 years that have not been able to do that. These guys that are coming in aggressive and doing the right things and really studying the pedigrees with the DNA and NADAR and the things that we can do to better our programs. It's scary what some of these beginners are doing. I mean, they're outdoing some of the people that's been in for 20 years because they're, not sitting and watching things go by. They're really paying attention to what they're doing.
The High Roller Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction is held at the beginning of every year. Actually, it's the second week of every January, so if you're interested, contact James Butler.